All right, I thought we'd try something a little bit different this time around. I'm going to go for a little drive here in New Hampshire, USA. Got my buddy with me, Groot, 120-pound, 2.5-year-old American Bulldog. Figured it was a nice sunny day, so we'd get out and go for a little ride. So I am now post-operative day 82 from my anterior lumbar interbody fusion from on L5S1. My last video was 33 days ago when I was post-operative day 49. So today I have my No Shave Life hat, which I got for Christmas. The views have been increasing on YouTube, and what I was hoping would eventually happen happened, whereby someone reached out who had been going through a similar experience and had watched all my videos. So I want to give a shout out to Brian. Brian reached out to me on a social media platform, which will remain unnamed, and we've been communicating back and forth for the last week or so. Brian is from Australia, so that's pretty awesome. All right, so when I left off 33 days ago, I had just restarted the gabapentin, 300 milligrams 3 times per day, because I was using the oxycodone and Valium still every night, as well as most afternoons. So my neurosurgeon put me back on the gabapentin, and within a couple of days, my baseline pain came down probably 50%. So the following day, after my last video, I finally started physical therapy. I've been going twice per week. It was Tuesdays and Fridays, then we changed it to Mondays and Thursdays. I think it's going to remain Mondays and Thursdays now. I still do my physical therapy every day at home, but I only go to physical therapy 2 days per week. That's been going great. I immediately noticed right after my first session that well, first of all, my first session I thought was pretty laughable, because we really didn't do too much. I'm like, what the hell am I paying for here? I mean, we did very little, but 5 or 6 hours later, I was in a world of hurt. And that's been the pattern that's kind of has repeated itself over and over, whereby I go there, and then 5 or 6 hours later, I'm just miserable. Inflammation, tightness, those back muscles start to clamp down, get very, very uncomfortable. So I end up taking the oxycodone and Valium after my PT. Well, 6 hours after anyway. I get a good night's sleep. I wake up the next day, feel pretty good. Then as I start doing all my walking throughout the day, start to get a little agitated back there, a little irritated, a little aggravated, and then it's a coin flip as to whether or not I am going to need the pain medication at some point around dinner time. And then 2 days after physical therapy, I'm do pretty good. And then the weekends, generally, I'm very good. I will say, though, that in the 10 days after starting physical therapy, my worst complaint was the restless leg. I mean, I never experienced restless leg syndrome before. For some reason, I thought it was the gabapentin, even though some people are on gabapentin to actually treat their restless legs. For some reason, I was convinced that's what it was. I wasn't even thinking that it would be the physical therapy, because I've been doing physical therapy for years and it never gave me restless legs. So the restless leg syndrome for about 10 to 12 days was incredible. Like, couldn't sleep. I tried melatonin, tried Benadryl, found some old Zolpidem, which is Ambien, that was expired from a couple of years ago in a medicine cabinet. Nothing was working. So after about a week, I finally told my physical therapist when I walked in there, and he says, "So how's it going?" I'm like, I haven't slept in 10 days, man. I'm like, it's horrible. I can't get the restless legs to stop. He's like, 1 or 2 more sessions, it'll go away. It's because we're stretching muscles and stretching nerves and stretching ligaments that you haven't stretched in close to a year. Because since March of 2020, I have refused to flex at the hips or bend over. So my low back muscles, as I've stated many times before, they're just non-existent. They're just atrophied. So any little amount of stretching I do on a regular basis is really going to irritate him. So he was convinced that's what the restless legs was from, and sure enough, within a few more days, the restless legs completely subsided, and it hasn't been an issue since. By the way, this video is being recorded on January 12th, 2021. So 33 days ago, on post-operative day 49, I was 213 pounds, I believe. I had gotten down to 210 pounds on Christmas Eve, and then got back up to 213 about a week later. But as of a couple days ago, I'm back down to 210. So I think it's going to be a struggle to lose any more weight until I become more active, because I had some alcohol over the holidays. I had a few sweets. I probably was not walking as much, and that's where the 3 pounds came in, but I've since taken that back off. But it's going to be difficult to get any more weight off, I think, till I'm more active. So I'm going to be starting work tomorrow. I'm going to be going in, working 5 hours per day, 3 days per week, actually in the office seeing patients. And I will have 1 day per week where I'll be working from home on a computer, just doing medication refills and talking to patients on the phone and things like that. So I went in today for about an hour, got reacclimated, made sure my printer worked, my microphone for my virtual visits and all my dictating worked, and kind of got up to speed and made sure all my accommodations were there. I got these great hydraulic stools for my exam rooms that have lumbar support. I've got this adjustable stand-up sit-down desk. So I got that all situated. I have electric exam beds in my rooms now. So we're just trying to get acclimated back to the office. I prepped for all my patients I'm going to be seeing tomorrow. So we're going to try doing 3 days per week, 5 hours per day for the next 6 weeks, and see how that goes. Progress at home. I'm starting to do things like some chores around the house a little bit more. I've done the dishes a few times. Just that hinging at the hips, kind of leaning over the sink and then kind of twisting left and twisting right to grab things off the counter and put it in the dish drainer. Can only tolerate that for 15 or 20 minutes, but I'm showering myself now. I was unable to dry off my lower half, not wanting to hinge or bend, because those are my restrictions. but I've since figured out how to use the edge of the tub and the towel to dry off my lower half very strategically. I'm dressing myself now. I'm not using the little extender grip to put on pants. If I'm laying down in bed, I can now put on my socks. I'm still using slip-on shoes. I haven't been able to, or haven't wanted to risk trying to put on shoes and then tying them. So little victories. I'm still not there yet, but I saw my neurosurgeon yesterday. He signed all my paperwork for the short-term disability, got all my restrictions in place. He basically says the back brace now is really as needed. He prefers me to only use it for support if I'm going to be sitting for more than 15 or 20 minutes, like in a car or if I'm at work. But otherwise, he really wants me to be out of it, so I start to develop a little bit more of a core around the house, but to be cautious not to overbend or overflex at the hips. I'm not going to see him again until February 23rd, and at that point I will get another set of x-rays, and that will be, I guess that'll be 4 months from my surgery at that point. He was really encouraged by the weight loss and how things had been going otherwise. So anxious to get back to work, excited to get back to work. These last nearly 3 months have been a lot of monotony. It's boring. It's recline fully in the recliner for an hour, then it's get up and walk for 10 to 15 minutes doing circles in my house, and then going back to the recliner and not being able to do a heck of a lot else. And that really weighs on you. So I'm looking forward to getting back to work and some semblance of a routine. Hopefully I can survive the 5-hour days and the constant sitting and getting through the day. So anybody out there, again, if this is the first video in my series that you're watching, I don't know how many I have now. I know I keep saying that, but I probably have 10 or 12 videos now over the last 3 months or so. This mantra I have going, patience, man. Got to be patient. This is a long process. You got to pace yourself. I overdid it last week in PT, no doubt. Did too much. We started doing some squats. I was squatting too deep. We started doing some bridges while I was laying down. We added a set. I really flared up last week, so I think this week I'm going to take a little step back, but gotta pace yourself. Perseverance, like I said, it's boring, it's monotonous, your ups and downs happen either on an hourly basis or a daily basis, so you really got to persevere through those ups and downs. I was pretty perfect up until the holidays came, but I'm back on track. Like I said, I had a little alcohol, to celebrate, and I wasn't nearly as strict as I had been with my diet. So you got to strive for perfection, but don't hold yourself to that incredibly high standard. This surgery, this rehab, this physical therapy, this journey is, something I have prioritized in my life. And my family knows that, and they're working very hard to make sure that I get what I need so I can put this rehab first. And perspective. I'm hearing stories from guys like Brian in Australia and what they're going through, and it's different everywhere. It's different no matter what hospital system you're in, and what state you're in, and obviously what country you're in. So have some perspective. Gather up as much information as you can. Do your research. Reach out to me. Send me some comments. Subscribe. Look forward to chatting with anybody who has questions. Appreciate all your great comments that you've sent me on social media. It's been great talking to you. And I'll let you know in a couple weeks how work is going, how physical therapy is going. So Groot and I, he's preoccupied with the back window that's open. We'll see you in a few weeks. Thanks.